It's not even scale, it was bigger than that.
You put your head next to that? It was bigger than that, was it?
The size of the paw and the size of the... Yeah, that's kind of pretty much the size that it was. Yeah, she wants to eat me, and I knew that there was a lock missing from the sliding window that I'd film out of. You're kind of staring into the jaws of the situation, literally. I'm talking to you, not to the camera, presumably.
Talking to me, yeah.
Yeah. I'm a wildlife filmmaker, presenter and cameraman.
You've had several series on the BBC, and the essence of that is you get close to a family of animals.
It started off with one series, it was the black bears in Minnesota. So it went from the black bears in Minnesota to polar bears in, so it was polar bear family and me, and then it was gorilla family, and then elephant family, cheetah family.
And is it dangerous?
It's potentially dangerous, but then everything in life is potentially dangerous.
I watched a shot of you the other day in Snow Wolf Family and Me, is that what it's called? And you're kind of face to face with a wolf. I would be freaking out at that. And that wolf could have just killed you there, couldn't it? Was that not dangerous?
I mean, physically, a wolf, if a wolf decided to attack, there's nothing you could, there's nothing you could do. But I think because there have been moments in my career that I've been terrified, and other moments where I've just been gravely concerned. With the wolves, when two of them came close, I was like, this doesn't feel right. There's nothing I could have done against one wolf, really, right, unless I had like a knife. But yeah, if you were to pit sort of any like a normal sort of average person against most wild animals, like you wouldn't really stand a chance. Even like I think if a big chunky male otter wanted to kill you, it probably could.
Do you think if you were in a hand-to-hand fight with a male otter, who do you think could win? No weapons, just Gordon versus Otter.
That's tough because they're basically one big long piece of muscle. Even their limbs are quite small, so they're like a big powerful. If it knew that okay, your mission is to kill or be killed, I think that'd be like an even
match.
Yeah,
really. What does the world know you for? You know what I'm driving at.
Well, it was a BBC commissioner said, what your USP and what you're known as is getting inappropriately close to dangerous animals. And the most famous example of that is the polar bears. This was designed to be able to sit out on the ice on my own around polar bears and be completely safe. So I'd be inside this with the camera. Then this female came along when I was in the ice cube. She wants to eat me, and I knew that there was a number of things that could have. There was a lock missing from the sliding window that I'd film out of, so that would slide sort of back and forward. So she could have got in through that. She could have flipped it over. And the underside was just like plywood. It wasn't like sort of reinforced underneath, so she could have flipped it over and burst through that, or she could have pushed me into one of these big sort of black holes in the water. What was that like? I think there was like a kind of, my brain just turned it into something abstract, that it wasn't actually really happening. And I think because I was in front of the camera, I was like, well, concentrate on speaking to the camera, concentrate on that, and concentrate on getting the shots. It was quite bizarre that in this state of terror that it kind of bounced over. I was like, I'll do some photos, and I've covered the sensible face, so I'll do some stupid faces as well. I've never showed them to anyone because it just looks like you've got a polar bear that's trying to eat you, and you're doing like kind of pulling ridiculous faces.
Look at the silly face.
I know.
So that's not genuine fear.
That's not genuine fear.
Are you kind of mocking the situation there?
I am mocking the situation, but it's like it shouldn't undermine the seriousness of the situation.
Tell me about this wolf in the room with us right now.
Stewart's deaf. The last he's 12, and I suppose he looks like a 12-year-old, and he's Springer Spaniel cross poodle. Dogs are about being cute. Their cuteness is a big part of their appeal. A dog's needs you put before kind of anyone else's. They kind of call all the shots. With other family members, you don't walk around behind them and pick up the feces off the street unless things have got really bad.
I listened to your autobiography, the audiobook on Spotify. It was very good. And I think you're going to take me on a bit of a tour, aren't you, of some places?
I'm going to take you a kind of trip down memory lane, but I'm going to take you to one of the most magical places on earth. We're walking towards the dumpling. This is a hill that overlooks the town of Gartacharn, which is where my mum was born and grew up. Gooply. So my kind of like love of the outdoors and love of green spaces, kind of this was the start of it. I don't know if Stewart is clever or just really dumb. He doesn't watch TV. Television doesn't exist, and I've seen people whose dogs love watching TV or react to other dogs or doggy things on TV. But maybe they're dumb. Maybe he's just so clever. It's like a dog on TV. I'm not interested. Can you see the sleeping giant, as it's called? You see the head is on the right, and the belly, and then the arm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I remember as a kid, I don't know how, maybe 3 or 4. I remember thinking one day it's going to wake up and that huge green entity is going to stand up, it's going to be massive. Just over there, less than a mile away, is my grandpa's farm. It's the place that Mum was born. We always went to the farm, probably every weekend. I suppose this was my fix of the outdoors, because we lived in the housing estate. That was kind of grey and very concretey, and I never thought it was grim, but kind of looking back on it, it was pretty grim. I can't say that I got anything out of the educational side of school, other than probably massive feelings of inadequacy. Right. I have learning difficulties, like I think I'm dyslexic, so I think just all of the things that probably came quite naturally to lots of people, I struggle with, but I didn't know I was struggling with it, and no one saw that, so I kind of probably just detached a little bit. My mum remarried a guy who was, he was really messed up, and he was a really violent person. It resulted in, being aware of, I suppose initially, like my mum having been hit, or my mum being throttled or strangled, all the way up to kind of beatings, like proper beatings. I remember, like, for years thinking, it's weird that you live for kind of 6 years under the threat of something really bad happening to your mum, and it doesn't affect you in any way. But it did.
You talk in your book about depression. Mm-hmm. Tell me what it's like.
It's sort of like an unseen force. Try and put it into words. It's like a sense of like falling backwards. If someone comes up and pushes you from behind, you get that. But if you're being pulled, it's much more unsettling because you can't see what's pulling you and where you're going and what's going to happen. In the kind of real world, it's sort of, not being able to get out of bed, like just wanting to kind of like waking up in the morning and go, I'm still here, and knowing, and just sort of your waking thought is like, I just want this day to be over so I can be back here and tired enough that I can close my eyes and sleep again.
Do you think that comes from the things that happened in your childhood? Do you think it's linked at all, or?
I don't know if it's sort of, I think growing up in a household where there was sort of domestic violence, that probably plays into it, but I think there's a genetic thing as well. There's sort of depression that runs on my dad's been a sort of, lifelong depressive. My grandmother on my dad's side, she was a sort of, manic depressive, which is really annoying because it's like, if you can put it down to sort of like bad things that happen, you think, well, that's unavoidable, but it's just like, it's I'm 6 foot tall, and at times I just struggle to kind of find any happiness in the world. The dumpling, as magical as it is, that is not the most magical place.
But we're heading there now, are we?
Yeah. And this is the place, like every dog has its first woof. And the place I'm going to take you to was the place that Stewarty found his woof. Come on. Come on. Boat time. So we're heading to this island here, which is called Clarinch. And Clarinch is the war cry of the Buchanan clan. When there was a Buchanan clan and when they needed a war cry, that was Clarinch was it.
Can you do it for me?
No. I've got lots of positive associations with this island, and if I do a war cry just to please you, it might add something negative. I might never come back here. It sounds like a bit kind of, it's the butler. Clarinch! Yeah, it's not. I wouldn't be scared. Good boy. Oh, Stu, come on, you're getting old. Good boy, come on. Gone are the days where you remember this place. Come on. So this is the place that Stewarty found his woof. He barked for the very first time. So I never really thought about how dogs aren't born woofing and barking. And he got to about maybe 6 months old, and we were like, oh, maybe he's not a woofer. And then we were kind of this time of day in the summer, set up the camp, and we heard this kind of it morphed from being a to woof, like a proper full-on bark. Stu, do you remember that? Yeah.
Well, this is your happy place, is it?
Yeah, it's sort of got lots of associations with just chilling. The best part of dog ownership, the best part of parenting is kind of wrapped up in this place.
The worst thing for depression is being alone and away from your family. How do you deal with that when you're away?
I think because when I'm away, I'm busy and I've got a focus. It depends if it's in front of the camera. It's really difficult to put your kind of game face on if you feel really depressed. But I've done that in the past. One time after I had this sort of breakdown, I just cancelled everything, like all of the jobs for that whole year. And I couldn't even do it over the phone. I just sent this sort of text. And one of them was like a live TV job that was starting in 2 weeks' time. But I said, I can't do this. And he was really kind. He said, I think he kind of got the gist of things. The last time that I was thinking, okay, I'm getting kind of like pulled back here, I thought, do everything. Diet, stop midweek drinking, kind of exercise, go to the gym, sleep 8 hours a night, cold showers, health supplements. And I felt better, but I couldn't say which of those things helped. But I realised that all of those things did help. But one thing that, in addition to what you can do for yourself, is like what a dog can do for you, which is just sort of take you out of yourself. It's very hard, I think, to stare your own problems and issues and concerns eye to eye when you're with a dog. He's living in the moment. I suppose Stewarty can do what I can't, which is kind of find peace all of the time. If I could be more dog, be more Stewarty, I would, I think, have an even happier existence.